What's up, everyone? Welcome to my channel, Collecting is Fun, where I show you that collecting is fun. And in this video, we are going to be looking at the Diamond Select Rick Grimes Deluxe action figure from the comic series The Walking Dead. Now, as you can see, on the other side is Michonne, because I did another review before this of her. Well, Rick came in later. I don't know why they didn't come around the same time, but that's what happened. So now that I have Rick, I'm going to go ahead and review this figure right here. I said before that I did not ever read the comics. So I've only watched the show. So that's where my tutelage of The Walking Dead came from. So any other specifics, I don't know. I'm just not privy to that. I never really decided to read the comic books. I was done with The Walking Dead. I'm not sure how many seasons ago. I was actually surprised that it was still on. It was like season 10. Like, man, Walking Dead still going? Whatever. You know, it spawned off some other series, like Fear of the Walking Dead, so forth and so on, blah, 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 whatever. So I'm glad that we have this. McFarlane came out with some other ones, but they were like 5-inch scale. I don't know what to do with the 5-inch scale figure. I mean, it's just a one-off. I mean, I also got Joy Toy, right? But then I found out that Joy Toy also matches some other figures I have. It matches, those turtles matches the size of the Batman Returns figure that I have. They also match up with, I believe, Mahaya RoboCop. So I'll see how that works out. Take a picture with RoboCop, the turtles, and Batman, just to have an interesting picture. But anyway, we're not talking about them. We're here to talk about Rick Grimes, the black and white comic book version of Rick Grimes from Diamond Select. Let's take a look at the back and let's read a little bit about Rick. Rick Grimes is a Kentucky deputy who wakes from a coma to find that the dead has risen and now walk the earth, eating those who lay in their path, joining with other survivors. He becomes their leader, only to find that the biggest threat in the world is not the dead, but the living, who will stop at nothing to take what they need and protect what is theirs. Grimes must struggle to keep his humanity intact while trying to keep his family and friends safe. All right, so this 1/10 scale action figure of Rick Grimes is based on his appearance in the Walking Dead comic books and graphic novels. It features multiple points of articulation, yada, yada, yada. Sculpted by May Thamtarana, designed by Eamon O'Donoghue. Also available, Michonne, but there we have it. Yep, Diamond Select, 25 years, Skybound, so forth and so on, not for ages under 4. So let's go ahead and open this thing up and see what we got. All right, so Grimy is out of the box. Grimy. Anyway, Rick Grimes is, let's see, he's pretty tall. Of course, he's gonna be taller than Michonne. Let's see, 1/10 scale. So this right here will pose well with a McFarlane figure. Somewhat. Definitely gonna be taller than a Hasbro Legend, Marvel Legend Hasbro figure. I'm gonna pull one up and see. Let me just do a little size comparison here. Hold on here. Let me see what I can grab. So let's see. Wouldn't be kind of crazy to have zombie ninjas? I think there might have been a property out there that have done the zombie ninja thing. Anyway, so here he is, and yeah, so yeah, it's Hasbro. He's taller than his hand, the member of the hand. He's that tall. Like, how tall is Rick? This dude is a tall dude, but that's pretty reasonable right there. This is something that can work. So yeah, Hasbro is pretty much where you would go if you're gonna have him pose with anybody else or any other toy line. Hasbro would be the one. McFarlane would be too big, engulfing this man. So yeah, Hasbro is where it's at as far as comparison and who he can probably sit with or what have you. All right, so as I take him out of the packaging, let's just take a look at all the stuff that he has here. He has this nice jacket because he was a sheriff. And it doesn't have that much gift, but it's okay. As you can see, he has the torso cut, which is nice. I'll tell you right now. Speaking of McFarlane, he just released the ever so sought after Christopher Reeve figure, or the look of it. And I will tell you right now that this torso cut is way better than that Christopher Reeve one right now. Oh man, it's like you've been waiting for it for so long, and then he gives you. Anyway, let's continue. So here's his articulation. Let me focus on the look first before I get into the articulation. You've got this little 5 o'clock shadow here. You can see that with the camera, maybe not, but he's got a little 5 o'clock shadow there. There it is. This man is looking like I have not slept in a while, haven't shaved in a while. It's just, I'm rough right now. I probably need a shower. Nah, I think he's okay at the moment. He's not too dirty. Can't really tell because he's in black and white, but he does have that 5 o'clock shadow there. So, you know, he was probably just about to shave until the world went belly up. He's got some big hands too. I mean, he should have big hands being that tall. So that does make sense. Shoot. Got that here, and he's a little stiff. He's a little stiff. Like, he might be another one of those heat up moment characters or figures. Okay, there's the bag. Nothing special about the bag, but you see the nice ripples in his jacket. Nice look for authenticity, for realism. I appreciate that. Nice belt. It looks like he's got some rips in his pants. That's a cool look right there. I mean, it looks like just paint, honestly. It really does. I mean, it's supposed to be a rip, but it looks like it's just... Okay, I see it now. It's okay, yeah. That's definitely a rip. It's this one over here. It looks like it's just let's just draw a line on the leg. I think they could have ripped that open. I would prefer that be ripped open versus it look like just something I can rub off with some alcohol or something. And let's see, looking at his boots, definitely make sure he has left foot and a right foot. Don't want to have 2 left feet or 2 right feet. He does have a swivel there. Can't avoid that. It's articulation. All right. I think that's about it as far as his look. He's got the, see, you hear that? Shoot, that's a lot. But he really can't go too high because this here is not that giving. It's, and as you know, they don't, I think, let me see. I'm trying to go T-pose on them, but that might be another heat up moment, or maybe just can't go any further because of how his shoulder is. It's kind of bulging out right here. So trying to get him into a T-pose might be a fool's errand. I don't think we should try that. Even if I heat him up, I don't know. But we'll see what kind of pose I can get him into. If I'm not satisfied, I might go ahead and try the heat up solution. And let's see, that's the belt, that's the gun holster, which I will definitely do. I guess he will have bullets in there, and that is it. So the articulation here, as you can see, is a little rough, a little tough. Diamond Select is like that for the most part, for some of their figures. They have some good articulation, but sometimes, depending on the character, I'll say with almost any toy line, depending on the character, you're not going to have all the articulation you want. You know, so what else would you want him to do? Would you want to have double jointed knees and have all the kinds of flexibility? It's not really something that's necessary for Rick or for these figures. I mean, they don't do hardly anything. No real stunts for real. They run, jump, shoot, roll or whatever, but they don't do hardly anything. Hardly any good fight scenes. They're fighting some undead folk or zombies, whatever you want to call them, or walkers. And then some real people they got to kill. All right, so that's how far he can go. It's like, that's realistic, honestly. When you have on some jeans that just aren't that giving, this is what it does to you. You just can't really go too far. And twist that ankle there so he can stand good. All right. Let's take a look again at his face here. He's got, there's his hair. Oh, you can see his eyes. You might not be able to see it because of the light here. I do apologize for that. Let me see if I can do something different here. Go on, focus. You can kind of see his pupils now. Okay, whatever. And then nice teeth. The teeth are okay. Yeah, sometimes these characters have some bad teeth, man. I've seen some bad teeth. Like the McFarlane, it was that War World Superman. He has some bad teeth, man. Everything else about the figure is cool, but those teeth, horrible. All right, let's take a look at his accessories. Excuse me, goodness. Need to get some water. There's his bag. Big size bag he can put on. Nice little strap there. I'm going to put that on him. It's a Casey Jones bag. You know, Casey Jones has all his weapons in there. So here's this good old trusty trademark revolver. Yep. Government issue because he's a sheriff. We'll go ahead and put that right there in this holster. It's not nothing really to write home about. But you see the revolver. You see the details in there. That's cool. That's all right. Go ahead and put that right there in your holster there, sir. Make sure the safety is on. Got his hatchet. Ooh, will it fit? Yes, sir. There's that hatchet. Good old hatchet. Everybody needs a trusty hatchet. Everybody, a hatchet or machete or something. You never know what's going to happen out here in these woods. Never know. Got a fist. What is this? His fist has a bandage on it. So it looks like he's been through some things. Got his hand cut a little bit. Yeah. That's all right there. See, he's got another hand, fist that's not bandaged. Another trigger hand. Well, I don't say another trigger hand, but the first trigger hand that we've seen. Yep. It's got a grabby hand with the bandage. It's always in the right hand. His left hand don't have anything on his arm. Any bandages, but that's fine, I guess. Grippy hand, no bandage. Left hand. And the good old trusty trigger with the bandage. Because, yeah, so obviously he's right-handed. Here we go. You got to have Rick with the hat. Got to have Rick with the hat. That's a good look right there. I forgot the actor's name. I'm not even going to look it up to call it out. But because he doesn't look like him. But I mean, actually, Andrew Lincoln? Andrew Lincoln, that's his name? Yeah. He did a pretty good job trying to get a guy that looks like this. Good looking head, is nice and open. I think that's the most I've ever seen for a head to put that ball joint in. And we're going to try it in this video. Hopefully it works out. And that's most likely how I'm going to have him posed with this head versus that head. Let's see here. We got the gun. Automatic rifle here. It looks the same as the one that Michonne has. Yike. Glad the safety was on. Okay. It's a gun. It is a gun. Give it to one of your McFarlane figures that don't have a gun. Then here we go. Yes, sir. Shotgun. Old school. Yep. It's got some writing on it, too. Reminds me of that show, The Rifleman. The Rifleman. Let's see, I don't think we can even get a picture of what that says. But there's a writing, there's some type of insignia right there. Let me see if I can find out what that. No, you can't tell. Can't tell what that is. But there's some, you can see it's something there. I don't know what it is, but there it is. This is cool. I would definitely have this in his hand versus anything. So I'm probably going to have a trigger hand with this on and probably have him pose with that in his shoulder. And this bag, I mean, I don't know. So I guess he'll have the code. He'll have to hold the gun and the rifle. I don't know. It's pretty interesting to have this here. Okay. All in all, with everything that I've seen so far, this is a cool figure. Let's go ahead and put him next to Michonne here. Bumping the camera. Come on now. Michonne is... Come on, girl. Stand. Thank you. He's not that tall over Michonne. That is pretty good. Pretty accurate for a man this tall to be standing there next to Michonne, who is not a short woman. But that works out. That looks good. Pretty good, man. Diamond Select does a very good job with these figures. They really do. I don't think I've met any real disappointment when it comes to ordering or getting any kind of figure from Diamond Select. They have been great. They've been clutch at times even, especially with that classic cap. That's great. If you have a chance to get a classic cap, it's still $29.99 on Amazon or wherever, and you can get that, and it's a beautiful thing. They just recently came out the Mafex cap, which also looks great too. But if you can't get your hands on a Hasbro one, get that one. But Diamond Select, just singing Diamond Select's praises right now. They, like I said, the articulation may not be good. We talked about this with Michonne. She can't do too much with that skirt there, so she's pretty much just going to stand. She can't sit. It's just no wide stances, nothing she can really do except just stand here. That's kind of disappointing, but that comes with the territory because of the skirt. Without the skirt, she would be just like Rick over here, where he can stand back over here. She waits. I think she's probably waiting for Rick to come over here and get some of that zombie survivor nookie. Because, you know, they get together and all. So it would be just like Rick, you know. Legs can bend, look like he can run or whatever. You got the whole pivot deal. She can pivot in her ankles too, but it's like, I mean, to one end, you know. So it's cool. You got the little swivel right there on his knee. You can do that too. Michonne can do the exact same thing. It's just he has more flexibility where he actually looks like he's walking. And he can get to wherever he needs to get to in 15 minutes because that's exactly what happens in The Walking Dead. Everywhere they go, only takes 15 minutes. I don't know how they do it, but they do it. All right, I'm going to pause the video and I'm going to attempt to get a look that I think that I would want to have him stay in. So, one moment, I'm right back. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, I'm going to have to recant on some things I said about Diamond Select as far as this figure is concerned. One, he does not have a hand to hold this. You have this hand, he can kind of hold like that, okay, but that looks weird. Who's holding a rifle like that, right? It's not that you're not doing that, are you? You hold the rifle like that, just kind of resting in the claw hand. You're not doing that. He has this, which, yes, this is for the revolver. However, this is so tight. It's another heat up moment. You're going to heat this thing up in order to get that revolver in there. I'm not doing that. Not right now, at least. I mean, yeah, it's a worthy thing to do, but for right now, if you get this, understand you're going to have to do that in order to put the revolver in either hand, left or right. Okay? They're both equally tight. I tried. It's going to take a little bit more doing. I don't want to do all of that, spend all that time doing it. I want to just keep on moving. I did say I was going to change his head. I'll get to that in a minute. There's something else. He's got the grippy hand, of course, that can grip the hatchet. That's great. But what is going to hold this shotgun? He does not have a hand big enough to hold the shotgun. If you put it in here, okay. So is that it? He's got a shotgun like he's holding like this. Is that what you're doing? Is that it? Because I thought that I was going to at least be able to have him hold it like by his shoulder to kind of hold it, look like he's about to shoot it. But we don't have that much articulation for him to do that. So I'll do that. You know, I guess that hatchet in one hand, shotgun in the other hand. Like, why not? See, don't do this. Don't do this. I just found a way for you to work, and you gonna see now. All right, there. Position in a certain way. This is see. Look at right when I try to help you out. Right when I try to help you out, you're gonna do this to me. I gotta tilt you a certain way, kind of like Michonne's sword in the other hand. All right, so who is holding their shotgun like that? Nobody. Ain't nobody doing that. Okay, Rick. Okay, Rick. Let me back it up a bit. Look at this shotgun, man. What? This bag also does not go over him very well. It does not have much gift. I noticed this part though. It comes off. But I guess it's part of it. It's supposed to have this natural gift. If you look at it, let me see without budging there. See that natural gift it has? It's not like it's ripping off. It's like it was meant to do that. Because it has a little small part where you can just kind of stick it in there and it stays in there. So if you want to put it over his head, you can. But it looks like it's going to tear. I don't like that. It looks like it's something that you should be concerned about. Also, his head. You see how his head is? It's kind of flush with his neck, right? See that? You might be able to see a small little gapage there, small. Just very minuscule that you're not going to, oh, I see that. Nope, not going to see that. Let's go ahead and let me do this right here on the camera and show you. This guy, so I showed you, has all that space, right? Okay, let's work this out. Hopefully it pops. Prove me wrong. This ball is already there. I want you to know that. The ball is already there. It is already there. I have not pushed it in yet, but you see that gap? Let's push. Notice, there was no pop, right? Look at that gap. Look at that gap. We have QC issue right here. It's like something is missing here to where it should be completing his whole entire face, but not really, because that's how he is. It just, this one is deeper. The hole or whatever, the recessed area inside of his skull is deeper, I believe. Start with the shadows. I do apologize for the shadow. But it's just that, I guess that's it. This one, it did not pop. It don't snap. This is as far as it's going to go. I can't go any further. And on the left side, look at that. It's almost like the other head. But on the right side, it's got that gapage. What is that? Come on, guys. Look at the big old gap. It may not be anything to you. Turn his head, gap city. Turn his head, gap city. It does not look right. You will have to have him looking straight on, which he does look okay looking straight on. But who's holding the gun like that? I'm not doing that. It makes you want to heat this stuff up so it can just be much better looking, right? And like I said, this right here, I mean, I tried to get it on his head, over his shoulder, but it just looks weird to do that. Let me sorry, I keep bumping the camera. Let me just try this one more time, because I'm not going over his head. I'm just going to do it this way and have it just kind of draped like, it ain't going to work like that. It's not, it's going to slip. Yeah. It's something, It's something you got to work with. You really got to work with this one. Rick is giving me, I thought he would have a whole lot more. Well, I didn't know what to think, honestly. But yeah, you gotta have to do something else with Rick. You have to heat him up and make him more pliable because he is not that agreeable. He is just not that agreeable. So this is the review. I wish it came out a whole lot better than this, but oh well. But they're still good looking figures. They're still good looking figures. Put this on your shelf, all right? Even though, like I said, you can't articulate that much, you're going to have to museum pose them a little bit. Maybe after you do... it's tough. It's some tough, hard plastic that we're working with here. You know, it's a little bit more difficult than NECA or about the same, depending on what figure you're looking at, but it's... they're good looking. They look good. They may not pose well, but they do look good, and that's important. You want them to look good. So you can get Michonne in a different pose, holding the sword, turning it left or right. That's going to look cool. Hatchet style, sure. Once you get the gun inside of his hand, that's going to look cool. You can point the gun at you, whatever. You can get this over his head, and it's going to look kind of weird, but it'll be right on his back, and that'll be it. So, yeah, that's the end of the video there. Let me try it one more time. Yeah, there we go. That's how he looks. So you see the strap is like choking him, right? That's not it. You can't get it over here because this is stiff. That's stiff. And even though it has that area, my bad, Michonne. Sit your behind over there, please. Okay. You see this? Even though this is exactly for this, it's giving you that leeway to pull this thing. You're not going to want to pull that thing that much. See that? You're not going to want to pull that much. That's kind of disappointing. So find another figure that has less girth to where you can put this on their back, maybe a Casey Jones or something, and it can work out better. Something a little more slim. If he didn't have these, it'll work. But these are not that giving, and you don't want them to be that pliable. So, dang, Rick. I was hoping I was going to have a better review than this, or a better experience. But that's it. That is the look of Rick Grimes. And, let's move this over a bit. And Michonne from the comic book graphic novel, The Walking Dead. I don't regret getting these at all. As I said, they do look good. There are ways you can pose them, different scenarios you can put them in. They can still add some joy. You can still have fun with these particular figures. And hey, I think for the price point, you're not going to be too disappointed. For the things that you can do, that you most likely thought you would be doing, I don't think anybody would think they're going to have a whole lot of articulation with these. But hey, there it is. You saw it for yourself. That's what I have with mine. If you get these and you have a different outcome, let me know. Come back to this channel. Leave me a comment. Let me know what happened with yours. Because as of right now, this is it. I got to heat mine up and see if I can come up with something else to work with. And if I do, I'll take some pictures and most likely share them. So that's it for the video. Hey, have fun with your collection because collecting is fun. See you later.